Do you know what Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Usain Bolt, and even Elon Musk have in common? They rehearse their skills and practice various scenarios thousands of times in their head. In a video I released a couple of weeks ago, I talked about visualization just a little bit, and now I want to jump into that just a bit more and talk about the impact that visualization can have on your overall performance. I came across an article that I'll link in the notes below. It's a really simple read, but it highlights how Michael Phelps practiced visualization on his road to becoming the most decorated Olympian of all time. This guy won 23 gold medals and had 28 total medals over numerous Olympic events, and was able to log a ton of extra work outside of the training pool by visualizing and working his way through each one of these events. And I just find this absolutely fascinating because this is something that I've done historically in my own life. When I was in junior high, I was a gymnast, and I was a pretty good gymnast. I wasn't world class. I wasn't a gymnast that was going to go to the Olympics, although I had aspirational goals to do that. I spent a lot of my time in class visualizing my gymnastics routines, and I would use a pen to do that.
I'm a pretty normal guy. I do one weird thing.
One of my friends did it too. And imagine a high bar. We would pretend like the pen was the high bar, and we'd be doing like giants and like a reverse hecht, and we'd catch it. And I would literally be doing this at my desk all day long. I would visualize these routines in my head with the pen, and I technically used a Bic pen.
It's safe to say that Bic knows pen.
I didn't realize at the time how effective that would be as a training tool. You can practice all of these reps, all of these extra scenarios in your head without actually crushing yourself in workouts or crushing yourself at the gym. What we know about visualization is that when we do it and when we're in a calm state, which I'll get to in a second, we are literally fooling our brain into believing that what we're visualizing is actually real.
You serious, Clark?
And this is the whole power of visualization when we use it. The brain has difficulty knowing what's real and what's not real. So we can harness that, defect in our brain and actually use that to practice and to prepare for everything just via visualization. Let's jump into a couple of tips to make your visualization even more effective. The first thing we need to do is we need to relax.
Relax.
We need to clear the mind and get into a calm state. One of the things you might do to help this is to do some deep breathing, some box breathing. Really breathing in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. You can breathe in for a 4 count, hold your breath for 4 count, release for 4 count, and hold your breath for 4 count. It's a very effective way to calm everything down. And while you're doing it, make sure that you feel the air go in through your nose, feel it exhale, and really pay attention to your senses. You're really connecting with your body at this point. And then you're going to do some progressive muscle relaxation, just relaxing everything from the tips of your toes, working your way all the way up through your body to the top of your head, specifically targeting muscle groups to relax. That's just to get you into a state where you can effectively visualize. Then you're going to visualize your way through, let's call it a CrossFit competitive event. It's event 1 at your local CrossFit competition. So you're going to do some external visualization to start off with. This is where you're watching yourself from the outside. You're visualizing that as a spectator. Then maybe visualize it as a cameraman from overhead. Maybe there's a drone overhead and you're watching yourself get through this workout. Maybe take the perspective of the judge watching you get through this particular effort. Then go through the workout with internal visualization. Imagine yourself actually doing the workout. Imagine yourself picking up the barbell. Imagine what it's like pressing overhead. Imagine what the knurling on the barbell is going to feel like. What it's going to feel like to add chalk to your hands out of the chalk bucket. What it's going to feel like to breathe and feel your lungs start to burn when you're in that second or that third set. How many steps will it take to get from the barbell to the pull-up bar? What's the sound in the room? What's going on with competitors around you? What does it feel like when you cross that finish line and take that big breath of relief? And then what does it feel like as you start to calm down after that event? I like to go through the entire event, start to finish, with you're going to want to prepare for all scenarios.
I always say it's better to be pre-prepared.
For me, when I'm visualizing like an open water swim, this is very similar to what Michael Phelps would be working on. That is something that can really make me nervous. So I might visualize this entire open water swim as it goes well, or maybe as it goes poorly, or maybe I get bumped by someone else in the water. Maybe my goggles slide off. Maybe I get way ahead and I'm feeling great, or get way behind and I'm feeling that panic. I'm going to work through all of those scenarios so that there's nothing that's surprising when I'm in the water. And it makes me prepared and ready for any situation. Research has found that the more more realistic, the more engaged our senses can be as we're working through these visualizations in our head, the more likely our brain is going to buy into this scenario and buy into the fact that we're practicing this. Michael Phelps, coach, says the key to visualization is that it has to be very, very vivid in order for it to be effective. And finally, you have to do this with consistency and repetition. This isn't something you do just before you start that event. You want to have practiced this over and over again prior to the event. You want to have done it a dozen times that morning, maybe the night before, maybe 2 days before. However long you have before that particular event, you can practice dozens of times prior to that. I also like to incorporate this into my overall training. I like to practice visualization before I do just training workouts so that I can get in those extra reps. As a master's athlete, the more reps I can get in without actually taxing my body, the better, right? For Michael Phelps, by the time he gets up on those blocks for that 200-meter race, he has done that race hundreds of times in his head before this particular race. And I think that's what we can do as we get ready for events, for competitions, and even for our everyday workouts. That's how you cram hundreds of extra training sessions in a year without taxing your body. It's as simple as that, but it takes discipline just like everything else. So share this video with someone who needs to start logging some extra reps without actually going to the gym, and we'll see you next time. Remember, our best days are ahead of us, guys. Get bolder, not older.